Adrenaline junkie?
Fitness fanatic?
Athlete? Isn't it time you tried Ego Chaser and
Took things to the limit.
The official energy bar sponsor of extreme sports like base jumping,
Kite surfing,
sandboarding,
free climbing,
helicopter parkour,
wingsuit flying,
big wave surfing,
snowmobile accidents,
biathlons,
triathlons,
and 100-mile ultra marathons.
You press it to the limit.
You're a super athlete, even though you have an office job and a family you ignore.
You don't have time for real friends.
Or to eat proper meals.
You're a warrior.
You're in training.
For what? Who knows?
But one thing we do know, you don't even need food.
You need fuel.
You need calories to burn.
And the Ego Chaser Energy Bar delivers.
Ego Chaser.
Pump yourself up.
Let yourself go.
It's time to go past the limit.
It's not even the limit. It's the energy bar that's all about you. How big is your Ego Chaser?
Straighten your teeth with clear aligners from Candid. Get started today.
Kids need stability, loving, stable parents, and a domestic environment similar to their friends. In the next election, it's time to finally make a change. Vote yes on Proposition 43 and outlaw the nuclear family once and for all. The nuclear family is the relic of a bygone age. Like nuclear reactors, they are dirty and prone to meltdowns that will poison generations to come. Vote yes on Proposition 43. It's time for some real family values.
In South Carolina, police say at least 14 people were shot during an...
Thanks to the internet, your husband or boyfriend is masturbating at least 5 times a day. It's a fact. 80% of relationships fail because women lure in men with lots of sex, then turn it off and get fat. He's going to cheat, and quite frankly, you deserve it.
I do!
But how can you compete with strippers and porn stars? How do you learn what men really want? Isn't it time you attended some classes at Nightlight's Continuing Education? Nightlights offers courses that will teach you the techniques he's come to expect. Fulfill his fantasies without the messy divorce. Contact Nightlights today and sign up for classes such as Rotisserie 101, Advanced ATM, and Coming Out Swinging for beginners. Get your diploma in Double P. Contact Nightlights today.
Hey, Boom 108, we're right, they're wrong. I'm David, that's Mike. Yeah, I think the Justice Department would go for that.
Sure.
And I think that the cable companies would be on board with it as well.
Boy, again,
it's a reasonable, you want to reach a compromise. This is a reasonable compromise.
Bringing families together.
In the end, that's the goal.
It's all about the family.
In the end, it's about bringing families together,
protecting them from all these outside influences that try to destroy the family. Instead, turning those very same influences into family strengthening items.
And making sure that they are well aware that the government is who they should look to for their advice on what to watch, for protecting their children. I don't think we can make a stronger argument based on the government that we have now that what we do, protecting our kids, is the highest priority. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. We have to protect the children.
Right. The children are our future.
We need to teach them well.
We do. We need to do that, and we need to do that on such a way that it has to be palatable. And that's what I think the puppets do. The puppets take care of that palatability.
Well, then you're educating children, and they don't even know it. It's almost like chocolate-flavored broccoli. It's good for them.
Have you
they
tried
don't
that?
know it. The chocolate-flavored broccoli?
Yeah.
I haven't had it. I had the vanilla cauliflower. It wasn't bad.
Not sure. I was looking around on the internet for a site that I could just refer to from time to time that has examples of the worst of television, the worst of radio, the worst of movies. I mean, the hardcore killing, the blood and the guts and the screwing and the beating of whores and the running over of policemen and the horrendous, being in a room naked with a bunch of women who just want to do nothing but ravage your body,
Sure.
I mean, we've all been there.
The gays with their furtive glances and their nodding.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. I forgot. But I sit there and I look at this and I think, wouldn't it be great if there was a site that could protect us by showing us these things using internet video streaming techniques.
Almost like an online glossary.
Sure. A reference.
I see.
Yeah.
Like a reference library of filth.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And have it staffed by, somebody who has been around this sort of thing for years and years and years and knows how to pick and choose exactly what goes on this site. And then the inverse of all that stuff, all that's left, is what you show on television. Everything else is protected with some sort of a special chip in the television sets.
Okay.
And on the radio. I mean, I truly believe that if we utilize technology to protect ourselves from ourselves, we are doing ourselves a tremendous favor.
Well, if technology is not for that, what's it for? Technology should be to protect us from people bastardizing technology.
And it should also be used to find those things that are just horrifying to watch.
Absolutely.
Overtly sexual, angrily violent.
The gays.
Yes, with their furtive glances and their nodding heads. I don't, there's something about that whole situation when you're being judged by a gay person that it just drives me crazy.
Yeah. Who are they to judge anybody?
Don't get me started.
Gay physician, heal thyself.
K-Boom 108, where we're right and they are wrong. We're talking about censorship. We're talking about being able to live in society without being inundated with the filth and the smut.
And the gays.
Before we go to the break, I just want to make sure I've covered every possible thing that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, you don't want me coming back with another mop-up?
Here's the thing. I just figure that if you have this opportunity, now's the time to do it, because I think we have the listeners by the throat.
Okay.
I think they are hanging on every word we have to say. Yeah, they may be doing other things while they're doing it, driving, shooting, loving, talking, who knows what they're doing, but they have us along for the ride. Mm-hmm. And as long as we're a part of their lives, and as long as I'm a part of your life, Mike, I want to make sure that you are given your due. Should we just take a break, or is there anything else?
How about we talk about the blood oath that we force these people to take when they come into this country?
The blood oath?
The blood oath.
Oh, I remember this. This was an idea you had when we were talking about the immigration thing.
Yeah.
But it was off the air. You see, I tell you this while we're playing the news, while we're doing the commercials and so on. I tell you, just write it down and say it on the air. That's so much more effective.
Yeah.
And you get a larger audience than just me.
This is another idea. And we make these people come to the country, and you cut the palm of anybody who comes to this country.
Like when they just walk in, they run their hand across some table saw and boom.
Not a table saw. No, come on. We have to have a medical professional involved in this.
Oh.
It would be a scalpel, maybe an X-Acto knife, which we talked about earlier.
Sure, it makes a clean cut.
You cut a palm and you bleed this person, and you bleed them into like a petri dish. And
how much blood?
That's when they're reciting the citizenship oath.
Oh,
so it's combined.
So that makes it a blood oath.
Exactly.
Wow.
And then they can go and assimilate into our country. If they do anything wrong, because we'll have the chip implanted, we'll be able to follow them around and figure out
the shock collar.
We have the blood.
Yeah.
The second we get the blood, it's whisked off to government laboratories. We are cloning these people. They act up, they do something wrong. They're replaced by their clone who won't ask questions, who we actually turn into a productive member of society. So we are cloning immigrants as they come, but only to be used if the immigrant doesn't do exactly what we expected him to do or what he's supposed to do. So essentially that's the risk you're taking. That's the bet you're making by coming into our country. You're telling us you're going to be a productive member of our country.
Right. And if not...
And by your tax returns and everything like that, if you're not making a certain amount, if you're not living up to what we thought you were...
Attorney. Here's how we cheat them.
The recent increase in gang violence on the streets of Stillwater has resulted in an increase in financial opportunity for people just like you. If you've been shot, robbed, or murdered, your case is ripe for the courts, and I'm just the man for the job. I'm a local boy. I graduated from Stillwater Community College with a passion for the law and an associate's in gun repair. Now, these qualifications allow me to get inside the head of your jury, so I know early on whether we gonna lose or not. And if we do lose, lunch is on me.
How we cheat them, attorney at law.
If you don't win, it's not like you didn't try.
Go guitars and Dylan and Doe, all out on the fence. Did we mention we have gold? All out on the fence.
Hey, you cocksuckers! We're going out of business! Everything, and I mean everything, is at clearance prices! I'm Crazy Carl, and if you can buy musical instruments, jewelry, or electronics for less, I'll fill my pants with shrimp and jump in the shark tank! Christ, it's bloody cold! And remember, if your stuff got recently stolen, we might have it here at On the Fence! I'm Crazy Carl, and if we don't, I'll tattoo a bullseye on my arse and hand you a bow and arrow! Oh, Christ almighty, take it, boys!
Go guitars and Dylan and Doe.